January 10th, 2010, we had just gone through a significant winter blizzard here in Oklahoma. Tulsa area was hit with quite a bit of snow and ice, and we had arranged for staff to stay overnight and had been shuttling back and forth. The following week, temperatures stayed extremely cold. I got a call late in the evening from the hospital PBX operators stating that we had a water line break. And initially, you think a sprinkler line is something small in nature and probably not a real significant issue. My next call was from the nursing supervisor, who told me that the flooding was so severe they were afraid they were going to have to evacuate our pediatric unit. I immediately called in other response partners, executives, administrators, got here to the facility. The water line, or the sprinkler line, actually turned into a 2-inch line, which was significant in size and dumped hundreds of thousands of gallons of water over 3 different floors. Upon arriving, you come in through the main doors on the ground level, and instantly behind our waiting area is many of our offices, and down the corridors you could see 2 inches of water standing in many of those areas. Water runs downhill, so below the ground level we had our medical equipment storage, and sure enough, medical equipment directly below the medical records and our PBX operators were being poured on with a downpour of water filtering through the ceilings, and a lot of equipment damage, staff trying to maintain our communication center and our call center in that area with lots of water in the floor. But we knew immediately that we were literally and figuratively over our heads, and the call went out immediately to our partners up the street, TRC, and the good folks there were here within 30 minutes and immediately began getting the water funneled into the appropriate areas and out of those areas where we needed to go in and ensure that electrical outlets and computers and all those things were safe, and that we were doing what we could to minimize additional damage. We met with TRC on a daily basis to determine what our priorities and our needs were. Those daily meetings, we discussed the importance of a hospital maintaining air quality standards for the indoor patients that are confined with different types of illnesses and disease, and really immunocompromised and very susceptible to those types of potentially infectious things. TRC came in with equipment to dry, a great response. Initially, the next morning we came in, they had cordoned off areas, got the water mopped up, and were doing the drying process, had air movers in place. And from a life safety standpoint, we're worried about our corridors and our exit ways. They did a great job working around our needs to maintain our normal operations the best we could under those dire circumstances. Flooding really wasn't near the top of our list, and we deal with severe weather, we deal with ice storms and a number of power outages and things like that. Those are the more frequent things that we're more prepared for. When it came to flooding and evacuation and those types of things, we knew we needed to reach out in our planning to someone that had the resources. Our connection with TRC came about in an effort to develop a memorandum of understanding and agreement that in an emergency response we would seek out their assistance and help in response to any number of these types of emergencies. We gladly signed an agreement with them and knew that they were just up the street from us and had the resources that we needed. What was encouraging in the response was their quick delivery of all the resources that we needed to address the issues that we were having. Their willingness to work with us closely, following our direction on the hospital's needs, getting staff moved to other areas. There wasn't a single instance where we couldn't call on them and ask for their assistance that they weren't able to provide exactly what we needed, or were already thinking one step ahead of us. They've got all the tools, they've got all the key components that any emergency response would need to have plugged in. And they did a really good job at doing that, and I would encourage anyone to have them out and at least talk with them about what their resources can do for anyone. It was a very good relationship that we've built, and we want to continue that relationship and have TRC as a partner for us in any emergency that we might foresee in the near future.